Okay, so we're going to get into positive externalities. Again, we're not here to argue about whether or not something is positive or negative for society. We'll make it pretty obvious. There's an underallocation of resources to things that have positive externalities. We're not making enough of something that's good in the natural market. All right, so we need to increase it. The government gets involved. So for flu shots, for example, the external benefits would be decrease in spread, better productivity, fewer absences, no pain or misery, also fewer deaths, okay? Because of the coronavirus, people became very aware of how many people die annually from the flu. It can be anywhere, from 10 to 30,000 people annually. Maybe a side effect of everybody wearing masks is that number for the flu will go way down this year, we can hope. So here's our natural market, and let's say the flu shot in the equilibrium market. Consumer pays, and the producer gets $40, okay? That's gonna result in 20 million people getting the flu shot. Well, we already said that's not enough, right? There's benefits we're missing out on. Because if I get the flu shot, that helps. Hey, Zach Hernandez, your desk is right there. Hey, Cody Johnson, your desk is right there. Hey, Kaden Giersdorf, you're right there. You're not going to get the flu if Mr. Gallo doesn't get the flu. By the way, I did get my flu shot. I always had to be nervous, my muscle is so solid there, that sometimes the needle breaks as they're trying to get it in. But fortunately, the needle did not break this year. So we want to get more people to get more benefit to enjoy these external benefits, and the subsidy is supposed to be equal to those external benefits, right? And the government is going to be funding this, so the producer is going to win and the consumer is going to win in terms of pricing. And the government's going to lose out on the money, but the government wins in the sense that they're doing something good for society. All right, so what's going to happen is we have our marginal private benefit curve, all right, and that's going to shift to the right with the subsidy, and we'll get our new curve, the marginal social benefit, or MSB. And this gap in here is equal to the subsidy. We'll calculate that later. So the producer is going to get more money. So we'll keep the number round and say that they're going to get $50. Producer, happy. Producer gets $50. All right, they get this new equilibrium here. And we'll say that this is, I'm trying to keep it proportional. We'll say that that's 25 million people. We're getting an additional 5 million people getting the flu shot. Well, the consumer, to get 25 million to get the flu shot, they don't want to pay $40. Right? We need to get the price down here, and we'll say that that's $28. Okay. There's a $28 price. Well, now we can get 25 million people on the demand curve. So to get producers to make 25 million, we got to give them $50 a unit. To get consumers to purchase 25 million, we got to get the price down to 28 million. Here's the consumer pays. So we have a subsidy of $22 per unit. All right, so the subsidy equals $22. The difference between what the consumer is paying and the producer is getting. If the producer is getting 50 and the consumer is only paying 28, well, guess what? We've got to find that $22 and the government's kicking that in. All right, so everybody's happy except for the government. Okay, but hey, it's not really their money anyway, right? So they're going to tax, Mr. Gallo's blueberry purchases at Whole Foods. Blueberries have positive externalities and should be subsidized, just saying. All right, so now we have changed how much the producer's getting. Okay, they went from $40 to $50, so they're getting $10 of benefit. I'm not going to colorize this, but they're getting a benefit of $10 on each sale. But the producer is also getting 5 million more sales. So if we just take a look at the total revenue, we're going from, let's see, 50 times 20, that'd be 20 million, that'd be $1 billion. We're going from from 40 times 20, that'd be $800 million in revenue, to 50 times 25, be $1.25 million, or $1 billion. So that's an additional $450 million in revenue. Producer's pretty happy with the subsidy, right? The consumer, right, they're only individuals consuming it, so we're more looking at the $12 discount here. The overall savings to the consumer is pretty substantial, but the consumer is also benefiting, right, because fewer people are getting sick. The beauty of me getting the flu shot, and then in some ways it's like Cody, Zach, and Caden also getting the flu shot, at least when they're in my presence, okay? All right, so just make sure that you have this basic understanding. The dead weight loss here, I like to do this. You'll understand after I finish the graph. This is how we make a P in positive. Why? Well, just like the arrow faced the other way on the negative externality graph, this region here, since this is the allocatively efficient quantity, this little chief triangle right here, that's our dead weight loss. Okay. And if you bring it all the way down here, that kind of looks, if you stretch it, like a P for positive. Looking at the video, you can't really see that. So let me do that. So it's kind of like, if you think of this for positive externality, you'll be able to remember that this is the direction of the dead weight loss, okay? And the reason is this is the allocatively efficient quantity right here. We put in the subsidy to create the allocatively efficient quantity, and then as we move away from that, we're losing the benefits, those external benefits that the flu shot's gonna provide. Because the natural market is not the ideal market, right? There's market failure taking place. The 20 million is the natural market. That's not an allocatively efficient market. We put in the subsidy to get us here. This is where MSB equals MSC, and that's where we want to be. Okay. All right.